Hello, and welcome to Millennium News TV 24/7 Daily Global News Update in English. My name is Todd Goldfinger, and here is today's top headlines. Thank you for being with us. Here are today's top headlines. News story number 1. Donald Trump is assailing the federal judge overseeing the election conspiracy case against him days after she warned him not to make inflammatory statements about the case. The former president made posts Monday on his social media network calling U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan highly partisan. Case overseeing the sentencing of one of the defendants charged in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. Chutkan, in a hearing Friday, imposed a protective order in the case limiting what evidence handed over by prosecutors the former president and his legal team can publicly disclose. She warned Trump's lawyers that his defense should be mounted in the courtroom and not on the internet, in quotes. Next news. News story number 2. When flames swept through western Maui, engulfing the town of Lahaina, residents saw toxic fumes spewing into the air as burning homes, pipes, and cars combusted, transforming rubber, metal, and plastic into poisonous particulate matter-filled smoke. Retired mailman and Vietnam veteran Thomas Leonard heard a boom as a propane tank at a nearby home exploded, leaving a cloud that looked like, in quotes, a gigantic mushroom, end quotes, in its wake. 37-year-old Mike Caccino, who grew up on Maui, said he could tell how close the flames were based on how far away cars sounded as their gas tanks erupted. He and his family sought refuge in the ocean across a knee-high sea wall, and as he helped others onto the rocks, his ribcage ached, his eyes were nearly swollen shut, and he vomited. Next news. News story number 3. A small central Kansas police department is facing a torrent of criticism for raiding a local newspaper's office and the home of its owner and publisher, seizing computers and cell phones, and, in the publisher's view, stressing his 96-year-old mother enough to cause her weekend death. Several press freedom watchdogs condemned the Marion Police Department's actions as a blatant violation of the U.S. Constitution's protection for a free press. The Marion County Records editor and publisher Eric Meyer worked with his staff Sunday to reconstruct stories, ads, and other materials for its next edition, Wednesday, even as he took time in the afternoon to provide a local funeral home with information about his mother, Joan, the paper's co-owner. Next news. News story number 4. One person is dead and 7 others are recovering from gunshot wounds following a pair of shootings in Chicago on Sunday night. The first shooting happened near an intersection in the Washington Park neighborhood around 8 p.m., the Chicago Tribune reported. Police said an unidentified man opened fire following an argument among several women. An 18-year-old man was killed, another 18-year-old man, a 16-year-old boy, and a 52-year-old man were wounded and taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center. The second shooting happened around 11:15 p.m. in the Old Town neighborhood. Police arrived to find 4 people shot in the street. Police said an unidentified man shot them before fleeing in a black sedan. The victims include a 28-year-old man, a... Okay, that was the end of that story. Next news. News story number 5. Avid McCormick had a clear explanation for why his fellow Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz lost a critical Pennsylvania Senate seat last year. Voters viewed the daytime television celebrity as an interloper from New Jersey with limited ties to the state he hoped to represent. In quotes, people want to know that the person that they're voting for gets it, end quotes. McCormick, who nearly lost to Oz in a GOP primary, said in March when asked to offer a post-mortem of the general election defeat, in quotes. And part of getting it is understanding that you just didn't come in yesterday, end quotes. As Republicans aim to gain the one seat they need to retake the Senate in next year's elections, McCormick is a top recruit, and before his anticipated campaign, he's working to avoid Oz's fate, frequently noting his upbringing in Pennsylvania, his ownership of a home in Pittsburgh, and a family farm near Bloomsburg. We're going to take a short break from the daily global English news of Millennium News TV 24/7. Please stay with us. Thank you.
Welcome to the world of Millennium News 24. We bring news, we analyze news, and we make a bridge between you and the eventful world. 24/7 Millennium News 24 team is at your service. Don't miss Todd Goldfinger's show, Goldfinger Music Hour, Noon News with host Todd Goldfinger. Millennium News 24 is available to be watched free for all LED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jado TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Millennium TV 24 News you need to know.
Hello and welcome back to Millennium News TV 24/7 Daily Global News Update in English. My name is Todd Goldfinger, and here's the continuation of today's top stories. Thank you for being with us. News story number 6. Long before the FBI began investigating Donald Trump's hoarding of classified documents, or Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed a special prosecutor to probe the former president, Fani Willis was at work. Just 1 month after Trump's infamous January 2021 phone call to suggest Georgia's Secretary of State could overturn his election loss, the Fulton County District Attorney announced she was looking into possible illegal, in quotes, attempts to influence, in quotes, the results in what has become one of America's premier political battlegrounds. As she built her case, Willis called a parade of high-profile witnesses before a special grand jury, presiding over an investigation that was so public it seemed she would become the first prosecutor in U.S. history to indict a former president. Next news. News story number 7. New guidance from the Biden administration on Monday urges colleges to use a range of strategies to promote racial diversity on campus after the Supreme Court struck down affirmative action in admissions. Colleges can focus their recruiting in high minority areas, for example, and take steps to retain students of color who are already on campus, including by offering affinity clubs geared towards students of a certain race. Colleges can also consider how an applicant's race has shaped personal experience, as detailed in students' application essays or letters of recommendation, according to the new guidance. Next news. News story number 8. Attorneys for Hunter Biden are pushing to keep part of a plea deal they pushed with the prosecutor whose new status as special counsel intensified the tax investigation into the president's son ahead of the 2024 election. Biden's attorney argued in court documents late Sunday that an agreement sparing him prosecution on a felony gun charge still in place, even though the plea agreement on misdemeanor tax offenses largely unraveled during a court appearance last month. His lawyer argues the Justice Department decided to renege on its end of the deal on tax charges. The agreement on the gun charge also contains an immunity clause against federal prosecutions for some other potential crimes. Next news. News story number 9. Republicans in Nevada could have 2 chances next year to decide who they want to be their party's presidential nominee. The catch: only one will count. The Nevada GOP is insisting on holding its own caucus despite a new state law calling for a primary election, a move critics say is designed to benefit former President Donald Trump. The competing contests are likely to confuse some and require GOP campaigns to spend extra time and money educating voters in one of the earliest states to cast ballots for the presidential nomination. The results in the GOP primary are unlikely to matter. Next news. News story number 10. Belen Diaz was walking home from college one evening when a motorcycle carrying 2 men made a menacing U-turn. Terrified that she was about to be robbed for the 8th time in 3 years, the teaching student banged on a cab window until the driver drove her home. Diaz got away safe, but there was an unrelated fatal shooting the next day outside her gated community of 2-story homes on the edge of the Ecuadorian port city of Guayaquil. Ecuador was one of the calmest countries in Latin America until about 3 years ago. Today, criminals prowl relatively wealthy and working-class neighborhoods alike. Professional hitmen, kidnappers, extortionists, and thousands of thieves and robbers. This has been the Daily Global News Update of Millennium News TV 24/7. Thank you so much for watching. Please log in to get the latest news on all of our social networking sites. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. On TikTok, we are Millennium News 24. Also, our YouTube channel is News Channel M24. Viewers now on both network broadcasting, Android and iOS devices, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV. Also, all smart TV platforms. Please enjoy our entertainment, our latest news, views, and editorials, our Millennium TV apps, Millennium TV USA Android, Millennium News Google, www.millenniumtv24.com. Please stay with Millennium News 24/7. We thank you, God bless you, and have a pleasant day.